There are certain organizations where their motive is not to earn profit but to render service to the society. So those type of organization we will call it as not for profit. What are the journal entries that has to be followed while collecting the amount from the shareholders? So it may be in terms of application stage, allotment stage and respective call stage. If you see second PUC question paper, so the maximum question paper or the total weightage of the question paper will be 167 marks. Hello everyone, I am Harshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. My dear students, today we shall have a brief introduction about your subject of second PUC, and the subject is what? That is accountancy. So we shall see what are the concepts what you are going to learn under this particular subject, what are the chapters that are included here, what is the weightage. So everything we are going to learn under this particular session. So let us quickly begin the session. So in order to see the books, that is, let us see what are the books that you have to refer under this particular subject, that is for second PUC. So we'll be having two books which is prescribed by NCERT syllabus. Okay, so your book 1 where you are going to learn about not-for-profit organization as well as partnership firm. So where you will be having chapters relating to not-for-profit organization and remaining chapters will be relating to partnership accounts. And your second book is, that is part 2, where you are going to learn about the company accounts and analysis of financial statement. So your first book is relating to not-for-profit organization as well as partnership accounts, and your second book, that is part B, or we can call it as part 2, which is related to the companies. That is where you are going to learn about the financial statements of a company. So these are the two books which is prescribed by the board, that is NCERT, where for the Karnataka board also these two books is being referred. Now let us see what are the chapters that are included under book 1. So as I told you, your book 1 is all related to not-for-profit organization as well as partnership accounts. So in this particular book, total you will be having 5 chapters. So let us see what are those chapters. Okay. So if you see the chapter 1, your chapter 1 is accounting for not-for-profit organization, and the total marks allotted or the weightage of this particular chapter is 15 marks. Now what is this not-for-profit organization? So in your first PUC you have learnt about the financial statement of the organization where their main motive is to earn profit. But there are certain organizations where their motive is not to earn profit but to render service to the society. So those type of organization we will call it as not for profit. So the word itself says that their main intention is not to earn profit. For example, educational institutions, charitable trust or any other sports clubs. So their main intention not to earn profit but to render service to the society. So in your first chapter, you are going to learn about accounting for not-for-profit organization. Even though their main intention is not to earn profit, but still they have to maintain a proper accounts. That is, they want to know whether they are able to run their organization or not. So whether they are having sufficient fund in order to run the activities in that particular organization or not. For that reason, they have to prepare a proper financial statement. So which is called as what? Accounting for not-for-profit organization, and the weightage of this chapter is 15 marks. So later on I will tell, so how many marks you will get, that is individually whether it is a 1 mark or 2 marks or 6 marks or 12 marks. So that I will tell later. Now coming to the second unit or second chapter under this particular book is accounting for partnership, where you are going to learn about the basic concepts. So your first book is prescribed only to not-for-profit organization and partnership accounts. So in your first chapter, you will completely learn about not-for-profit organization. Coming to the second chapter, so rest all the chapter is relating to partnership. Okay, so your second chapter is about partnership, where you are going to learn all the basic concepts. So the name itself of this chapter is Accounting for Partnership Basic Concepts, where you are going to learn all the basic concepts of partnership, and the total weightage of this chapter is 9 marks. Okay. Now coming to the third chapter, it is Reconstitution of a partnership firm. Under that, you are going to learn about admission of a partner. Now, under Reconstitution of a partnership firm, you will have admission of a partner, retirement of a partner as well as death of a partner. But in your third chapter, under Reconstitution, you will learn only about admission of a partner. So, when a new partner enters into a partnership firm, that is when a new partner enters into the existing partnership firm, what are the accounts that has to be prepared? So, what type of or what share of profit that has to be given to the new partner? So, that will learn under admission of a partner. Okay, and the total weightage of this chapter is 15 marks. Okay, so your third chapter is all about admission of a partner. Now, your fourth chapter, so here you will be having or you are going to learn about the two situation where accounts under retirement of a partner and accounts under death of a partner. Okay, so here under fourth chapter under Reconstitution itself, so your fourth chapter is about retirement of a partner and death of a partner, and the total weightage of this chapter is 13 marks. Now, what is this retirement of a partner? Suppose there are three partners. Now, one partner wants to leave the existing partnership firm. So, that is known as retirement of a partner. And death of a partner, as the word itself suggests, that a person dies in the existing partnership firm. So, it may be several or it may be due to several reasons, but a person or a partner have died in the existing partnership firm. Of course, when a partner leaves or a partner dies, so his account has to be settled. So, how we are going to prepare accounts in that particular situation? So, that we are going to learn under retirement of a partner as well as death of a partner, and the total weightage is 13 marks. And the next chapter, that is last chapter under your first book, that is dissolution of partnership firm. Now, what do I mean by dissolution? It is the whole partnership firm is going to close. Okay, so it may be due to law or it may be due to other type of activities where the business is compulsorily getting closed, or with the consent of all the partners the firm is getting closed. So, it may be due to several reasons, but the partnership firm is going to close. Then what are the accounts that has to be prepared? So, how we have to settle the partners? How the accounts of the partners has to be settled? So, here also this is a very important chapter where you are going to learn about dissolution of a partnership firm. That is, when the firm closes, what are the accounts that has to be prepared, and the total weightage of this chapter is 14 marks. Okay, so these are the few chapters what you are going to learn under your book 1, that is your first book. So, first chapter relating to not-for-profit organization, rest all the chapters relating to partnership firm or partnership accounts, where you will going to learn about the basic concepts. Next, you will learn about admission of a partner, next retirement, next death, and later on dissolution of partnership firm. So, the total weightage of this particular book, that is in your first book, the total weightage is how much? 66 marks. Okay, so this is your first book. Now, coming to the second book, where you are going to learn about company accounts as well as analysis of financial statements. Okay, so this is all relating to the company. That is, what are the accounts that has to be prepared in the company. Okay, so under this you will be having total 6 chapters. So let us see what are those chapters and what is the weightage of this particular book. Now, coming to the first chapter under your book 2, that is accounting for share capital. So, here this is an important chapter where you are going to learn about the shares. Okay, so what is this share and what are the types of share and what are the journal entries that has to be followed while collecting the amount from the shareholders. So, it may be in terms of application stage, allotment stage and respective call stage. Okay, so that will learn in detail. So, your first chapter is about accounting for share capital and the total weightage is 15 marks. Okay, so the total weightage of accounting for share capital chapter is 15 marks. Next, your second chapter is issue and redemption of debentures, where you are going to learn how the debentures should be issued and how you are going to redeem those debentures. So, this is also an important chapter and the weightage is 19 marks from this particular chapter. And coming to the chapter 3, that is financial statements of a company. So in your first PUC, you have learnt about how the accounts that has to be prepared under sole trading concern. And in your book 1, you have learnt how the accounts that has to be prepared under partnership firm. So in your book 2, you are going to learn one more form of organization, that is company. Okay. So how the financial statements that has to be prepared in a company, and the total weightage is 9 marks. So the total weightage of this chapter is 9 marks. Next, your fourth chapter is analysis of financial statement. Very easy chapter. Most of the students will attend this concepts. Okay. So attend the problem under analysis of financial statement. Very easy chapter, and the total weightage is 15 marks. Okay. That is analysis of financial statement. Next, your fifth unit is accounting ratios, where you are going to learn about number of ratios, where you have to remember the formulas. Okay, so there are number of formulas where you are going to calculate the ratios. So the chapter name is accounting ratios, and the total weightage is 19 marks. So once you know the formula, it is very easy to solve the problem, and the total weightage of this particular chapter is 19 marks. And the last chapter under your book 2 is cash flow statement. So this is a small chapter where you are going to learn about cash flow statement, that is cash inflow as well as cash outflow. So that is cash flow statement, where you have to prepare the cash flow statement, and the total weightage of this particular chapter is 9 marks. Okay. And if you see the weightage of whole book 2, that is, if you see the marks allotment of each and every chapter, and if you add on all that, so the total weightage of book 2 is 86 marks. Okay. So remember, book 1, what is the weightage? That is 66 marks, and book 2 is 86 marks. Now you might have a question. So ma'am, our question paper is only for 100 marks. So how do we get this 86 as well as 66? We'll be having the options, right? So including options, the total weightage will be 86 as well as 66. So the total weightage of your accountancy question paper will be 167 marks, where you have to answer only for 100 marks. Remember? So this is about your book 1 and book 2. Now let us see what is the question paper pattern. So of course, as your first PUC, your question paper pattern will be section A to section E. That is, section A will be for 1 mark, section B will be for 2 marks, section C will be for 6 marks, section D will be for 12 marks, and section E, that is practical oriented question, which will be for 5 marks. Now let us see how many questions they will give, how many you have to answer, and what is the in each and every section, what is the weightage of each and every questions. So, and we shall see the total marks what you get in each and every section. Now, under section A, so the whole question paper has been divided into 5, that is section A, B, C, D and E. Under section A, they will ask you 10 questions, out of which you have to answer only 8. Okay, so 2 questions will be options for you. Okay, out of 10 questions, you have to answer only 8, and each question carries 1 mark. So your section A is for 1 mark. So 8 into 1 will get 8. Okay. Now coming to section 2. So that is section B. So the total questions given will be 8 questions, where you have to answer only 5. So 3 will be options here. Okay. So they will give you 8 questions, out of which you have to answer any 5, and each question carries 2 marks. So the total weightage is 10. That is 5 into 2, 10. Next, section C. So section C is for 6 marks, correct? Where they will ask you 7 questions, out of which you have to answer any 4, and each question carries 6 marks. So 4 into 6 will get 24. Next, coming to section D. Section D is for 12 marks, where they will ask you 7 questions, out of which you have to answer any 4. So 4 into 12, because section D is for 12 marks. So 4 into 12 will get 48. Next, coming to the last section, that is section E, which is practical oriented question. We call it as POQ, practical oriented question, where they will ask you 3 questions, out of which you have to answer any 2, and each question carries 5 marks. So 2 into 5, that is 10. So the total marks what you have to write is for 100 marks. So the total question paper what you have to write is for 100 marks. Okay. So this is about the question paper pattern. Now let us see what are the general guidelines that is given by the pre-university department. So that is 2nd PUC Accountancy, pre-university department, Government of Karnataka. So they have given you the general guidelines in the question paper, that is general guidelines or instructions on question paper. So the first one is duration of the annual examination is 3 hours 15 minutes. So your whole annual examination will be for 3 hours 15 minutes. So 3 hours you are going to answer the questions and 15 minutes will be given, that is in the beginning, to go through the questions. So you have to go through the questions carefully for 15 minutes. Then you will start answering the questions for 3 hours. And the second instruction is that maximum marks of question paper is 167. If you see 2nd PUC question paper, so the maximum question paper or the total weightage of the question paper will be 167 marks. Okay. Maximum marks to be answered is 100. So the total weightage along with the options will be 167. But you have to answer for 100 marks. It doesn't mean that you have to just answer for 100 marks. If you know the questions properly or if you know the answers properly, you can attempt extra questions also if you have sufficient time. Okay. So the total question paper will be for 167 marks, out of which you have to answer for 100 marks. Do not write anything in the question paper. So this you have to remember, my dear students. You should not write anything in the question paper, not even a single dot. Okay, not even a single mark that you have to make in the question paper. You should not write anything in the question paper. So these are the general guidelines which is given by the pre-university department. So hope you are clear with the general guidelines. Now we shall go through the blueprint. So if you see the blueprint of your accountancy paper, that is chapter wise weightage of marks and typology of questions 20, 22 and 23. So this will be the 2nd PUC question paper blueprint. Now if you see the book 1, so as I told you there are 2 books, book 1 as well as book 2. If you see the book 1, so there are total 5 chapters, correct? So if you see the first chapter, that is accounting for not-for-profit organization, so the total weightage of this particular chapter is 15 marks. Now how will you, or how the questions will be asked for 15 marks? Okay. So you will have 1 mark 1 question, that is under section A, and under section D you will have 12 marks 1 question. Okay. Under section A, that is for 1 mark you will have 1 question, and under section D, that is 12 marks, you will have 1 question. So this is except your practical oriented question. I am going to tell the blueprint. Later on we shall discuss about practical oriented questions. Okay. So the total weightage is 15 marks. That is 12, and you will have one more 2 marks question also. So the total weightage is 1 mark 1 question, 2 marks 1 question as well as 12 marks 1 question. So the total weightage of this particular chapter is 15 marks. Now coming to the second chapter, that is accounting for partnership basic concepts. So the total weightage is 9 marks. So how do you get this 9 marks? So you will get 1 mark 1 question, 2 marks 1 question as well as 6 marks 1 question. So the total weightage is 9 marks. Now coming to chapter 3, where you are going to learn about reconstitution of a partnership firm. Under that, admission of a partner. So under this admission of a partner chapter, the total weightage is 15 marks. So here you have to be very careful. Under admission and retirement, you will be having an alternative. Suppose if they ask 6 marks from admission, then you will get 12 marks from retirement. Okay. Suppose if they ask 12 marks from admission, then you will get 6 marks from retirement. So there is an alternative. Okay. So here the total weightage of admission chapter is 15 marks, where under section A, that is 1 mark, 1 question will be asked, 2 marks, 1 question will be asked, and 12 marks, 1 question will be asked. So let us see, the 12 marks will come from admission. Then you will get 6 marks from the retirement. Okay. So remember this. So the total weightage of this particular chapter is 15 marks, where you will get 1 mark 1 question, 2 marks 1 question, as well as 12 marks 1 question. Next, coming to the fourth chapter, where you are going to learn about retirement of a partner as well as death of a partner, and the total weightage is 13 marks. So how do you get this 13 marks? So you will get 1 mark 1 question as well as 6 marks 2 questions. As I told you, if they ask 12 marks from admission, then you will get 6 marks from retirement. Suppose if they ask 6 marks from admission, so 6 marks from admission, then you will get 12 marks from retirement. So there is an alternative here. Okay. So under retirement and death of a partner, so the total weightage is 13 marks, where you can expect 1 mark 1 question as well as 6 marks 2 question. That is 100% a 6 marks question from death of a partner. Okay. Now coming to the last chapter, that is chapter 5, dissolution of partnership firm. So the total weightage is 14 marks, where 100% 12 marks problem will be asked. So you will get 2 marks 1 question as well as 12 marks 1 question. So this is under book 1. Okay. So these are the questions you can expect, and these will be the division of questions. So the total marks under book 1 is 66, where 1 mark 4 questions, 2 marks 4 questions, 6 marks 3 questions, and 12 marks 3 questions. So this is except POQ. Now coming to book 2. Okay. So here also we shall discuss what is the weightage and what is the blueprint. Now under book 2, your first chapter is accounting for share capital, where the total weightage is 15 marks. So how do you get this 15 marks? So you'll get 1 mark 1 question, 2 marks 1 question, as well as 12 marks 1 question. So this is about your chapter 1, that is accounting for share capital. Next, chapter 2, issue and redemption of debentures. So the total weightage is 19 marks. So here the total weightage, very important chapter, and the weightage is 19 marks. So how do you get 19? So you'll get 1 mark 1 question, 6 marks 1 question, as well as 12 marks 1 question. Important chapter. Now coming to chapter 3, financial statements of a company. So the total weightage is 9 marks. So how do you get this 9 marks? So you'll get 1 mark 1 question, 2 marks 1 question, 6 marks 1 question. Next, coming to next chapter, that is chapter 4, analysis of financial statement. As I told you, very easy chapter. So the total weightage is 15 marks. So the total weightage of this particular chapter is 15 marks, and 1 mark 1 question will be asked, 2 marks 1, as well as 12 marks 1 question. And the 12 marks problem will be very easy. Next, under chapter 5, that is relating to accounting ratios, where you have to learn lot of formulas. So the total weightage of this particular chapter is 19 marks. Very important chapter. Once you know the formula, very easy to solve the problem. So here you will get 1 mark 1 question, 6 marks 1, as well as 12 marks 1 questions. Next is your last chapter, 6th chapter, cash flow statement under book 2, and the total weightage is 9 marks. So this is a quite small chapter, where the total weightage is 9 marks, where you can expect 1 mark 1 question, 2 marks 1 question, as well as 6 marks 1 question. So if you see the total weightage as well as divisions of questions under book 2 is, so the total weightage is 86 marks, where you can expect 1 mark 6 questions, 2 marks 4 questions, 6 marks 4 questions, and 12 marks 4 questions. So this is how you are going to get the blueprint of your accountancy paper. Now, if you total, that is if you total book 1 and book 2, that is part 1 and part 2, so the total weightage is how much? 152 marks. That is except POQ questions. Okay, so the total weightage is 152 marks, where 1 mark 10 questions will be there, 2 marks 8 questions, 6 marks 7 questions, and 12 marks 7 questions. Where under section A, that is 1 mark question, out of 10 you have to answer any 8. Under section B, out of 8 you have to answer any 5. Under section C, out of 7 you have to answer any 4. And section D, out of 7 you have to answer any 4. Next, 2 more practical oriented questions you have to answer. Now, This is excluding bridge course as well as POQ. Now, if you see the bridge course, so there is no questions relating to bridge course, so it will be blank. And POQ questions, that is practical oriented questions. So, the total weightage will be 15 marks because they will ask 3 questions. 3 practical oriented questions, out of which you have to answer any 2. So, 15 marks. So, here it does not come under any of these here. Next, bridge course and practical oriented. So, if you add bridge course and practical oriented, so the total weightage of this particular paper, that is accountancy paper, is 167 marks. So, I have got 1 mark 10 question, next 2 in the sense 16, next 42, 84 and 15. So, the total weightage of this paper is 167 marks. Already we know about it, and how you have to answer I have already told you. So, this is the blueprint of your accountancy paper. And there is a small note here, so which I have already explained you. If 12 marks question is asked on admission, then 6 marks questions will be asked from the retirement. So, this I have already told you. So, there is an alternative on admission as well as retirement chapter. If they ask 12 marks from admission, then you will get 6 marks from retirement. If they ask 6 marks from admission, then you will get a question of 12 marks from retirement. So, there is an alternative here. So, this you have to know. So, go through this note carefully, which I have already explained you in the beginning itself. So, my dear students, you had a brief introduction about the subject, that is 2nd PUC Accountancy. See you all in my next session. Till then, take care. Thank you.